Breaking. Bankman has been taken by the jailman. SBF arrested by Bahamian authorities, who said in a press release that they took the action following receipt of formal notification from the United States that it has filed criminal charges against SBF and is likely to request his extradition. SBF charged with conspiracy, wire fraud, money laundering by Justice Department, securities violations by SEC. After weeks of speculation, the US Department of Justice has officially filed criminal charges against SBF. The former CEO and founder of FTX, Bankman-Fried, was arrested on Monday in the Bahamas related to charges by the US officials. US Attorney Damian Williams posted on Twitter that the indictment would be unsealed Tuesday morning, citing a person with knowledge of the matter. The New York Times reports that prosecutors for the Southern District of New York have charged Bankman-Fried with wire fraud conspiracy, securities fraud conspiracy, and money laundering. So this is the official account, Twitter account, and it says what it is. Bankman-Fried was the only member of the FTX inner circle, which included Carolyn Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda Research, and SBF's former girlfriend, and FTX co-founder Gary Wang, named in the indictment. Beyond the Justice Department charges, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is also preparing to file its case against Bankman-Fried tomorrow. They commend our law enforcement partners for securing the arrest of the Bankman-Fried on federal criminal charges. SEC official Gerber Gravel said the Securities and Exchange Commission has separately authorized charges relating to Bankman-Fried violations of our securities laws, which will be filed publicly tomorrow in the Southern District of New York. Bankman-Fried was under supervision in the Bahamas since the collapse of FTX in November. A legal battle between the Bahamian and American governments over who had jurisdiction in the case was playing out in court. Today's charges may have finally settled in debate. This was posted on December 9th. So SBF started tweeting. I actually haven't followed on his Twitter accounts. I still do not have access to much of my data, professional or personal, so there's a limit to what I will be able to say. I won't be able to be as helpful as I'd like, but as the committee still thinks it would be useful, I'm willing to testify on the 13th. Why do you think he got arrested just before he was about to show up in the Congress and testify? I'm actually coming to that in a second. The disgraced ex-CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, has been arrested in Bahamas, according to a statement from the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Bankman-Fried, also known as SBF, was arrested. Same thing. Bahamas police confirmed in a statement shared with Decrypt that law enforcement arrested Bankman-Fried without incident at 6 p.m. at his apartment complex in Albany. SBF's arrest resulted from various financial offenses against laws of the United States, which are also offenses against laws of the Commonwealth and the Bahamas. The statement read, Bankman-Fried was due to speak to lawmakers in Washington, D.C. tomorrow about the collapse of the digital asset exchange, after agreeing to testify before a House Financial Services Committee but declining an invitation from the Senate. It hasn't yet known what charges U.S. authorities plan to bring against Bankman-Fried. But legal experts tell Decrypt it's likely to be some combination of bank and fire fraud. The Bahamas has an extradition treaty with the United States. FTX went bust last month after allegedly mixing funds from the exchange with its trading house, Alameda Research, which is actually illegal, and CoffeeZilla pretty much covered this. When users of exchange got light of mismanagement, they tried to withdraw funds from FTX, which led to a bank run on the exchange, etc., etc. So that's all I have for the news, ladies and gents. On the other hand, let's check out some of the tweets, notable tweets. This was posted by Lee Zeldin, all right, 6 hours ago. Tomorrow, Sam Bankman-Fried was scheduled to testify in front of the House Financial Service Committee. House GOP was ready to grill him 6 ways to Sunday. Now breaking tonight, SBF was just arrested. Kind of researching emoji, right? Face with monocle. Why not allow him to first testify tomorrow and answer our many questions? This has this got a lot of engagement. What happened to you? You know what? He was arrested. He's a flight risk. However, let's see how this pans out. Here, CoffeeZilla is right here. SBF was arrested in the Bahamas by the Royal Bahamas Police Forces like the extradition. And this is the official letter. On a statement from the Attorney General of the Bahamas, sent Ryan Pinder, KC, on the arrest of SBF on 12th December 2022, the Office of the Attorney General of the Bahamas is announcing the arrest of the Royal Bahamas Police Force of SBF's pharmacy of FTX. SBF's arrest followed receipt for formal notification from the United States that it has filed criminal charges against SBF, likely to request extradition. As a result of the notification received and the material provided therewith, it was deemed appropriate for the Attorney General to seek SBF's arrest and hold him in custody pursuant to our nation's Extradition Act. At such time as a formal request for extradition is made, the Bahamas intends to process it promptly pursuant to Bahamian law and its treaty obligations with the United States. Responding to SBF's arrest, Prime Minister Davis stated the Bahamas and the United States have shared interest in holding accountable all individuals associated with FTX who may have betrayed the public trust and broken the law. While the United States is pursuing criminal charges against SBF individually, the Bahamas will continue its own regulatory and criminal investigations into the collapse of FTX, with the continued cooperation of its law enforcement and regulatory partners in the United States and elsewhere. Wow. Okay. Everything is happening within the last several hours. As Wall Street, silver. SBF charges wire fraud conspiracy, securities fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. Bernie Madoff got 150 years for his Ponzi, but was already in his 70s and died after a few years. SBF will do a 50 plus years in federal prison. 50 plus. You think so? Do you think he's gonna do a few days, few months, several years, decades? Cal Roth. So will the cameras in SBF's Fried's jail cell be in working order? I'm sure he's gonna be able to play. He's gonna have a PS5, so he can play Leagues of Legend. I'm sure, right? No, it's not so bad. Breaking Democrat. What? SBF was scheduled to testify to the House Financial Services Committee in Washington tomorrow. Instead, the U.S. District for the Southern District of New York arrested him in the Bahamas. Pretty much quite a few accounts pointing out the same obvious. Why was he arrested just before he was about to testify? Do you think it's, again, I don't want to... Do you think it's conspiracy? What's happening? Do you think there are people who don't want him to testify? Alright, let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video.